I can sum up the show for you with one word. Nothing. Nothing? Nothing.
Everybody's doing something. We'll do nothing. I still don't know what the idea is.
This is the show, and we're not going to change it.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode 52 of This is the Show. I'm one of your hosts, Alex Webb.
Case McGowan. Happy Friday, folks. Welcome back. We're here. Happy Friday.
Yeah, we're back. Easter. No, next week. Next weekend?
Nope.
When's Easter?
This weekend. Sunday. 2 days from now. From when the cast drops.
Wow.
Oh.
I don't do anything.
Alex got a haircut, everybody. If you're listening, if you're one of our listeners, first of all, join the YouTube, like and subscribe. Join the YouTube
I got a haircut.
But Alex got a haircut. He looks fresh. He's look fresh. You got it today.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Paint's still wet. Well, because we got I got that birthday party that I'm going to over the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So that's your Easter plan.
And so true. It's not really Easter related, but I will be doing that on Easter. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun.
I might hide a couple eggs.
Dude, get the eggs out there. That's what I say. Get the eggs, dude.
Like,
what if I like the idea.
Hey, Claudio.
I like the idea of a guy that hides eggs but doesn't tell anybody. So like you're all hanging out in the yard, and then somebody like walks to a corner and is like, "Is this what is this?" And you're like, and then you are just like, "Huh? You like that?" You don't even tell anybody.
What is it? Yeah, it was like, what's in it? I put some change in there. Just put a couple nickels in there. I don't know what you put in an Easter egg. What do you put in an Easter egg?
Yolk.
Oh, when they blow them out and they put what is it? Is it just hollow? It's a hollow painted. Yeah, you paint the egg.
Oh yeah. But
is there something inside?
No, it's just an egg.
I'm thinking. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the little plastic ones that you can can separate.
Yeah. No. Those are like
I was getting my eggs crossed.
Your eggs got all crossed. But
scrambled.
No, the regular over easy. The regular eggs are like the ones you paint are just like eggs, I think. So if you got what if you hid loose eggs but no paint of Easter stuff on them? Just loose eggs around the yard. That would be fun.
That would be fun. A little messy. And eventually stinky.
Oh yeah. The big stink. I might go to my brother's house for Easter. Speaking of which, I haven't decided yet.
Oh.
Yeah, my brother Kyle.
Well, you got that day off.
Yeah, my one day off. But my brother Kyle lives in Connecticut, but he lives like low key out of the way. He lives like in central Connecticut. This is my middle brother. He lives like kind of far away. So I got to figure out if I could like get there with trains and stuff. But he's got the niece. He's got like the 3-year-old niece. So like Easter's big for like 3-year-old. The eggs, the basket, the bunny. It's fun.
They love it. They don't love the bunny though. Every photo you see of the kid sitting on the lap with the bunny, they hate it. They're always screaming.
Really? I like the bunny. Maybe I didn't like the bunny as a kid.
Well, you would. That's what I'm saying. You're like, I love the bunny now.
Bro, I'm big on the Easter bunny. I might like, I was about to say I might like the Easter bunny more than Santa. That's just not true. I almost said it, but that's just not true. I love Santa.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But I like the Easter bunny. Other, it's fun. Oh, are you thinking of other like holiday mascots?
Yeah, but there's really not a whole lot. You got you got Cupid for Valentine's Day, I guess.
Cupid, yeah, the fat baby with like the arrow, right? It's a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. It's a cherub. I don't know if those are like babies or like adults that look like babies. I don't know the difference.
Either way, it didn't sound good. That sounded like a slur when you said it. So I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna say it.
What, cherub?
Don't say it. What are you doing?
It's the other C word. All right.
Oh boy. But well, you got like the 4th of July firework. Isn't there like a firework with like arms and legs that like is on the 4th of July? Am I making that up? Maybe it's
No, I don't think so. That sounds like, but you know what? That sounds like something that like 90s kids in like cartoons and commercials on in like 90s television for kids. That sounds like something that would exist there. Like the California raisin.
Yeah. It's got the shoes with like the the legs and the shoes.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, but I don't think there's other mascots. There's not like a Halloween pumpkin, you know?
Yeah, well, it's just the pumpkin, but it's not like a character.
No, not a character. Write in. This is the show 69@gmail.com. If you know of any holiday characters, we want to hear them. We want to hear.
Wait, what
you
about?
got.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the Tooth Fairy. Not really a holiday, though, is it?
Good call with the Tooth Fairy. Not a holiday, but I guess every time you lose a tooth, that's like your own personal holiday, you know?
It's true. It's just kind of like another lie we tell children, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it applies.
Yeah, we got Santa, got Easter, we got Cupid, we got the 4th of July firework. It's not like an Arbor Day tree, not that I know of.
It's just trees in general, I think. Yeah.
There's not
Memorial
like
Day, veterans.
Veterans
Those are mascots.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We love the troops. What other holidays are there? Halloween, Valentine's Day, Arbor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July,
St. Patrick's Day, the leprechaun.
Oh, the leprechaun. There you go. St. Patrick's Day.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. They're after me, Lucky Charms.
Yeah, made a whole cereal after the guy.
Yeah. Which is making everybody sick, by the way. Everybody's getting sick from Lucky Charms. I don't know if you've read this.
What?
Yeah, apparently Lucky Charms are like spoiled and it's making everyone sick.
Is it the marshmallow or the other part?
I feel like I gotta assume it's the marshmallow. You know, it's like badly cooked marshmallow. It's like maybe after the expiration date.
That's wild.
Which, by the way, speaking of expiration dates, real quick, I ate a salad today. I had the Trader Joe's bag salad. You know that I love.
Yeah, I put you on. Sorry, I hit the mic. I put you onto those.
You did, and I tell you, it had a Best Buy date. It said Best Buy April 13th, which is so we're recording on the 12th. Sorry, folks, we record early in the week, but they said that Best Buy the 13th, which would be Thursday or Wednesday of this week. And I'm eating it on the 12th. And so it should be good. But I look in there and some of the lettuce is like brown. So I got nervous. I was like, and I know like, I guess they say like brown lettuce isn't like the end of the world,
No, it's definitely not.
But here's the thing. I still ate it. But here's the thing. I was thinking about Best Buy dates, right? Like Best Buy. You always see Best Before. You know what I mean? It's always like Best Before March 14th, Best Before May 2nd. In my head, it should not be Best Before because I don't care about when it's best. That's not something I care about. I care about when it's bad. So instead of Best Before, it should be Diarrhea After. They should change it. They should change it.
Yeah. I think the word diarrhea printed on any food would look really appealing.
Maybe not diarrhea after, but like sickness begins after this date. You know what I mean?
Well, here's my whole thing. Except with now, Trader Joe's is the exception of what I'm about to say here because Trader Joe's, I don't know what happens, but it's like the second that food leaves the store, it's on its way to being bad. You get a thing of bread, and it's like done. It's like done 2 days later. It's just toast. And and that being said, for the majority of other places, though, I feel like the expiration date is kind of a lie. I feel like you got a good week after that expiration date when it's really like you're still in the clear, except when it's Trader Joe's. Eat it before the date.
Best Before.
Best Before. They need to say Best Before.
truly best before. Well, I'll tell you this about that. I do think like the smell test is like it's big, you know? You just
The
give it a whiff.
nose.
Yeah, the nose. I like that. Did you make that up?
My uncle says it when he's
Oh.
talking about steak, I guess, but
That's
I don't.
fun.
Yeah.
But it's like milk, you know, like I mean, I don't drink milk anymore, but like, you know, you smell the milk. But like I think that applies for like salad. You could smell the bag of salad. You
Oh,
could
for
sell
sure.
you could smell yogurt, you know, yogurt's big. You could smell yogurt, you could smell like cheese, you could smell like, you know, there's
Give it the old
stuff.
sniff. Get in
Yeah,
there.
give it a sniff. I agree with you on the expiration date. That being said, I'm a hard and fast. If it's past the expiration date, I'm like, no thanks, Charlie. Won't catch me.
I once had a salsa that was like 9 months past the expiration date, and I didn't notice until I cleared like half the container.
Well,
I was fine.
Well, that's that great Seinfeld bit about like, have you ever noticed that it's after the expiration date, like the milk after you've already started eating it, you know, the spoon's trembling in your hand and you're like, it's the day after the day. Like, is it still good?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's my pitch. Sickness after, and then put the date, you know,
I like
rather
that.
than best before.
Yeah, because then it really removes all liability. Because, you know, that whole thing, that's not there for the consumer. That's there for the company. So you can't sue them if you get food poisoning. You know?
Exactly. They don't care if I get listeria.
They don't care. Now there's a word I can't spell.
Listeria?
Oh, what? You know how to spell it?
I bet you I could spell it. Pull it up, but don't tell it to me. I'm going to spell it. Pull it up. Let's see if I can get it.
Hold on. Hold on. Before I look it up, I'm going to throw in my bet. This
Okay.
is a spelling
Yeah.
cast,
You
folks.
do it. All right. You do it first. Then I'll go. And then, yeah.
I'm going to do it and then look it up and then you go. Okay.
Well, but
My
need to write
guess-
it. You're going to need to write it down. So we have both
I'm going to,
spellings.
well, I'll be able to remember both.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Every time with the spelling, and you're like, okay, all right. I'm going Lysteria. Shit, I was wrong. Well, I already gave it away. Shit.
All right. So Listeria. Is that right?
Yeah.
But that's honestly no. But you're not gonna give me this because
we don't know.
But listen, before
We'll
you
never
gave
know.
it away, that's how I
No.
was gonna spell it. I know you don't believe me, but that's how I was gonna spell it. I was gonna spell it with the I. I swear I was. You're not gonna give it to me, but
Nah, I'll give it to you. What the
no,
hell
it
has
doesn't
got
believe me.
LYST? Nothing.
Lysol. Well, Lysol is LYS.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even
L.
Listerine is LIST. All right. Anyways, we can't spell for an hour.
We already did that 2 episodes ago.
We can't do this, folks. Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. You had a story? You said before we started.
Yeah, but you said you have a story from today, so you got to go first. My story is not as fresh.
All right. Well, it's really quick. I have 2 stories, but we'll stagger. I'll go, you go, I'll go.
Okay.
My first story is I got a haircut today. And, you know, I'm just like stressed out of work, stressed out with personal stuff. So I get into the barber shop and I was just starting to feel a little antsy because like I had an appointment at 12:30. Okay. And the guy didn't see me until 12:50. Not a big deal. But I'm just kind of sitting there. Like I showed up at 12:30. I was like ready to walk in, walk out, you know? So I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes and it's like your classic barbershop vibes. There's the leather couch. They were watching Halloween Kills on like a shitty TV.
Oh, dude, I love that. I love that movie choice. My barber, it's always Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's always Curb. I've never gone in and not been Curb, but it's hilarious that it's Halloween Kills. That is so funny.
The last time I went there, which I got a haircut, last time I got a haircut was in like September or October of last year. And they were watching Grown Ups 2, and it was awesome.
That's great. I'm all in on that barbershop. That's great.
So I walk in, they're playing Halloween Kills. Every booth is full. There's like this big fan going overhead. Like you can see this one kind of like spinning above mine. It was like that, but old and loud. Okay. There's a big echo in this place because they have like a back room, kind of like this big warehouse door back room with like a pool table that you can like hang out at. I don't know who's kicking it at the barbershop like that, but I'm sure somebody's making good use of it, you know?
Uh-huh.
So the guy who owns the place he's got the stall closest to the door. So like right when you walk in, it's like, boom, this is the guy that owns it. Right now, I'm just sitting at the couch looking at my phone literally the whole time. I look up once just to like get a good read of who's in the room in case a situation breaks out, because this is the world we live in. I'm memorizing faces,
Yeah, scared guy. Classic scared guy move.
I'm checking exits and I'm checking faces.
Yeah.
So this guy, the guy who owns the place, he's about to go to lunch. He like finishes up with this, with the guy he was helping out. This old dude walks in, tall, wearing sandals, khaki shorts with the big pockets on the sides, polo t-shirt, not tucked in, unbuttoned, tall, like I said, walks in, white guy, starts hollering, okay? Screaming. He's like, who could I get a cut with?
Oof.
And it's like, and I'm like, bad start. He just walks in screaming, okay? And then the guy who owns it, he was like, what did he say? He was like, well, I'm going on lunch. You got to fill out the paperwork and one of these will be with you. He's like, well, your seat's clear. And gets all like confrontational with him,
Yeah.
And then, he's like, well, I'm leaving. And the guy, kind of in like shitty golf attire, was like, what, are you going to play golf too? And then the barbershop owner says, no, I'm going to play golf 3. And then he walks out of the room.
Ooh, that's fun.
I was just like,
line.
It was such a weird interaction. So then the guy sits down and he's like, the owner walks out and he like goes into the back room. Okay.
Well, this guy skips the line. Like he skips you.
No. He doesn't skip the line, but he sits down and he fills out the paper. Okay. But he keeps being loud and obnoxious. And so he sits down. All right. He sits down, the big plop, the big plop,
the big sit down. I know that sit down.
And I mean, we're talking like 220, 230, 6'4". Okay. Like a big guy,
Wow, that's big.
Plops down on the leather couch that I'm sitting in. It's a 3-seater. I'm on the far left. He's on the far right, plops down. And then the first words that leave his mouth are, crazy about what happened in New York, huh? You can't go anywhere.
Oh, no.
And he's screaming. Like everyone is having a conversation with their barber, okay? Everyone's talking the way that you do at the barbershop. Everyone just goes dead silent, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then he goes on to say, what did he start saying? He just started like breaking down the news of what's happened in New York City today. Okay. Walking us through it, which is like, man, I like, I don't go out in public a lot, but I don't like you talking about this. I don't know you, sandals guy, tall guy. So then he's like, yeah, it's almost as bad as what's going on in Ukraine. And then he starts going on about Ukraine and how Putin's an asshole. And he hopes that like they start to use chemical warfare so that NATO gets involved. And then the owner comes out and is like, can you stop saying this shit? And like gets after him and then cuts his hair just to get him out of the place,
Oh my God. So the owner confronted him. He was like, hey man,
he was like, you got to chill.
He's like, you got to cool it with the Ukraine, the NATO, the New York. It's too much.
It was just like, it was like watching CNN with this guy, It was just so depressing, And he's saying it in like the jolliest, like just classic, this doesn't affect me, but I'm updating people because the world's a terrible place kind of thing, And he's like, this is why I gotta, this is why I moved out of Chicago in the 80s, I'm like, all right, enough out of you, dude. I just... so brutal.
Hey, that thing that's happening in New York? Well, when I lived in Chicago in the 80s, you're like, all right.
I didn't.
Two things aren't even related.
I didn't even like make eye contact with the guy, but I was afraid that he was just gonna, because this is the type of guy that's gonna look over to you and just start talking to you with no reason. He's like, I'm here, you're here, let's talk. And a lot of the time, now don't get me wrong, because I'm a talky guy when I go out in public. Okay. That's fine. I mean, to the right people, the cashier, not like this guy, but I'll have a conversation. And, if I see something like you're wearing a good shirt, I'm like, hey, nice shirt. I'll do that,
You'll say that. You'll say nice shirt to somebody on the street.
Well, I mean, if they're sitting on the couch next to me waiting for the barbershop and I look over, I'm like, oh, nice, death cab for cutie, or something,
I guess that's true.
My
Trader Joe's cashier today noticed my Hartford Whalers hat, and he was like, "What's that team?" He was like, "Let me guess it. Let me guess it." He started doing like he was like, "Is it the North Carolina Windows?" And I was like, "No,
What?
no."
Is it because it kind of looks like
And then he was like, "Is it the Canada Goose?" And I was like, "No, I don't know." And so he was guessing, and it was kind of fun, But then I gave him like 3 guesses. They were all terrible guesses, and he was like, "All right, tell me." And I was like, "It's the Hartford Whalers." He was like, "Is that fishing?" And I was like, "No, it's like hockey, but So,
Is that like fishing?
but it was fun. That's a good talk to people thing. I was just confused when he said I'd be talking to people like out and about. I was just seeing what you meant,
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm glad he got addressed by someone that isn't you, because there's no worse feeling in life. I mean, there's a lot of worse feelings in life, but
Nah, this is it.
There's nothing worse than when somebody, because I had this, I didn't even want to tell this story. Can I tell this? It would be real fast. It's related to yours.
Of course.
So on Friday night, I go to the I go to the Nets Cavs game with my friend, and we have a good time. It's fun. It's a good game. We're having fun, blah, 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 whatever. We take the subway home, and the subway is, you might as well, it's wild. It's just, there's a lot.
So I've heard.
There's a lot happening. Yeah, exactly. This guy, he told you all about it. You know what's going on.
I am up to date.
But how about this? So me and my friend are on the subway. We're going home. We're on the G train. We're at Fulton Street from Barclays. I got to take it to, where do I got to take it to? I got to take it all the way to Court Square because I'm going to Queens. So I got to go to the end of the line. So I got a long ride ahead of me. My friend's getting off at Lorimer Street because he takes the L. He lives in Brooklyn. So we're taking the G train. We get on the train, and a lot of Nets fans are on the train. We're all talking about the game. And we were talking to this other guy that when me and my buddy were talking out loud, and this guy heard us and he was like, "Let's go Nets." And we were like, "Let's go Nets." Whatever. It's fun. Like you were saying, like the fun talking to
You're
people.
getting into it.
Yeah. Like the fun discussion. Then we get on the train, and then this other guy, he's like kind of older. He's wearing a vest, which apparently is bad news these days, but this is before the incident. So
Sure.
He's wearing a vest, and he comes up to us. He's older, and he's like kind of, he's like, he's New York, like person that will come up to you on the train vibes.
Yeah.
Not homeless.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's homeless. I'm just saying he's that type.
He's
of
just
vibe.
one of those like invasive New Yorkers. Yeah.
Yes,
I got you.
Yeah. Where it's like, oh, a crazy person. So he comes up to us and he goes, "Let me ask you fellas something. Who won tonight?" And we were like, "Oh, the Nets did." And he was like, "Oh, okay. Who'd they play?" And then we're like, "Oh, the Cavs." And he was like, "Oh, okay. Is this basketball?" And we were like, yeah, it's basketball. It's like Nets, Cavs basketball. And he goes, "Oh, okay, cool. He goes, "I don't follow sports, but I like to talk shit to my coworkers, so, I'll talk shit with them tomorrow about who won. So I just wanted to, what was the score?" And we were like, "Okay, here's the score." And he was like, who's on that team?" We go, "Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Oh, okay. I'm going to talk some shit." He kept saying that. He's like, "I'm going to talk some shit to my coworkers tomorrow." We're like, "All right, man." And then
Sounds like a great guy.
I don't know what happened, but somehow he was like, "I'm not into sports. I'm not really, I don't really follow stuff, but, I don't like to have idols." Like he was like, "I used to, who I used to really like was Trump. And then I found out, like that wasn't a good look." And then me and my buddy are like, "Oh boy." Like, I don't know how he got there, but he got there so fast. It happened so quick, in the same way that your barbershop guy. But then he somehow got from Trump to the Will Smith slap thing, the Chris Rock slap. Now, granted, this is like 2 weeks after it happened. And he's going off. He's like, "How do you tell me that they don't have security at the Oscars and people are slapping each other? And, it's because of these societies and they don't care." But me and my buddy are like, "What is going on? Like, how did this happen?" And so he ends up getting off the train at the same stop that my buddy had to get off of before I get off. So he starts to walk out, and like he talked to us the whole time. He talked to us for 13 subway stops. And then he gets off. My buddy watches him get off first, and he just stares at me. And I was like, "This is your stop." And he was like, "I know it's my stop." Like he's giving me that, like, I know what's happening. So he waits, for the guy to turn left, and then you hear the stand clear of the closing doors, please. And then my buddy just like immediately runs out and goes the other direction. And I was like, oh man. So we had a crazy guy talking to us too. People be talking out right now.
It's true. Well, it's because they've been so suppressed. They've just been talking to themselves for 2 years. Now they're just going out talking to anybody.
People got shit to say.
To their coworkers too.
Now let me ask you this: Did you? Sorry, I didn't even acknowledge how funny that was. What a great callback! That was so funny. But let me ask you this: the barber, when he started cutting your hair, did you guys talk about how he was crazy?
No.
Damn.
Because I've only been to this dude like a few times, I've only been to see this guy like I think this was like my third haircut from the guy. And so I was like, I don't know, maybe he's like a regular, maybe this is someone's dad. Like I'm in like Twitter brain cancel culture, you just don't say anything, that's where I live. Just, I take the pill and I swallow it. So, but yeah, wild. I was the
only reason I asked is because when something happens in public where somebody's acting crazy, it's like you get to have that fun moment with a total stranger, which is like we've talked about before, which is like, can you believe this? Like, that's the best. But you didn't get to have that with your barber.
I was hoping it was gonna happen, but I needed him to initiate it first, because one, the guy was still there and like two stalls down from me. But it was loud enough where I feel like maybe like he could have been like woof, or just just like an undertone, like a nod to it,
A quick like, oof, that was crazy.
Yeah. And then once he left, because he got finished a little bit before me. But yeah, once he left, it was like we were already talking about other stuff. My guy's mountain biking, he's saving up for a grill, he's doing all this stuff. So
you guys are watching Halloween Kills together.
We're watching Halloween Kills.
Can you believe this?
I didn't even know what it was. But there was like enough visual information where I was like, oh, this is probably Halloween Kills,
Sure, yeah. I mean, it would be funny if you saw Michael Myers and you're like, what movie is this?
Yeah. Like, is this that Friday the 13th movie I keep hearing all about? Yeah. So anyways, insane.
I hate people talking out loud in public like that. It's always uncomfortable, especially when they bring up like hot topic issues, like it's funny. We both had the same thing. This guy had Ukraine and the New York thing, and my guy had fucking the Will Smith slap. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's nuts. I had another guy talk to me in public, and here, I don't mind. I'll just get my other thing out the way really quick, which is that Shelby and I, we went to Home Depot because we were doing all these like different plants around the house. And so we go to Home Depot and we get the plants, and I got this plant. It's called a bougainvillea. Okay. And it's on my cart. It's like this big, pretty, like dark red, purplish kind of plant, with the flowers on it and all. Shelby and I were looking at like a palm tree or something. And this old guy, it's another old white guy. And he just walks up to me. Okay. Now people will be walking up to you at the Home Depot plant section and like talking to you about plants. Like that's not an uncommon thing. Like, oh, where'd you find that? That's gorgeous. Like people are on the hunt for it. So from my peripherals, I see him walking up to us, and I look over and very similar outfit, not as tall, still kind of tall though, like 6'1", 6'2", kind of old guy, like
older than
79,
the other guy?
80. Older than the other guy. Yeah. Cause the other guy was like newly retired, this guy is not newly retired.
Yeah, he's been retired for a couple of years.
He's looking like he might run for president. So he walks up to me. Okay. He's got like a blue shirt on, a blue long sleeve button up shirt on, like a dress shirt, but untucked. The pockets stuffed with like pens and like glasses, like just like the classic old guy pocket,
Sounds like he's dressed like me so far.
Yeah, like I said, dressed like an old guy. So he walks up to me, and I kid you not, and Shelby was there, so she can attest to this whole thing. He walks up to me, and he gets close to me. He gets close and he's just staring at me in the eyes.
He's right in front of you.
He's right. He is here. Okay. He is close.
But you saw him from the periph, so he must have made a circle loop. Oh, you turned.
No. I turn. I turn and I see him and he walks and he approaches me. Okay.
Gotcha.
He gets close and he just stares at me and does not say a word for like a good 20 seconds. Okay. Just silence. Okay. Staring at me. You know how unnerving that shit is? So I'm like, you're like, yeah, I can imagine. So I'm like, hey, sorry, and I'm moving my cart around thinking I'm in his way, even though I'm definitely not. I'm like, I'm so sorry, apologizing for he's even said it, still holding eye contact. And he's like, where did you get this? And he's like, not blinking. He's like, where did you get this?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I got them with the rest of the bougainvilleas over there where you can see them all. They're huge. There's so many of them. And he's like, no, but this color, how did you find this color? And I was like, they're all various shades of purple. I didn't really spend too much time on it. And he just goes on and on about how rare this color is. And then he tells me the project that he's working on, that he's like fixing his sink and he's putting in a new line in his kitchen, and is like walking me through his kitchen using just his language, which was not clear. It was like very like I am not really sure what his point was. And then he's like, well, see you later. And then just walks away.
That was it.
That was it. There was like no resolve. He just wanted to know where I got the plant from. I told him it was over there. And he was like, have you ever grown one of these before? And he's like, they get big. And I was like, I hope so.
But he had no point. There was no point to any of this. It was just talking.
He was just talking, I think, truly for the sake of talking. It seemed like he wanted a connection, and he got it. He saw my soul, bro. He looked into the windows.
Yeah, what is it about you? It feels going on with you right now. You got like talk to me vibes. You're putting out talk to me energy into the universe.
I'm just standing around. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Because here's the thing. You can put talk to me energy out there if you make eye contact with people. So you got to stop looking at people in their eyes, Alex. You got to tone it down a little bit.
Someone staring at you. You try not to make eye contact even for a second with them, because he's looking at, he's laser focused, and then he's walking over, you know?
Yeah.
I could feel the gaze. Yeah. You know how you can feel the gaze. I felt the gaze.
The male gaze, the retired male gaze. I don't know if that applies to people that aren't women, but and out of the film theory context, but there's something. I'm putting that degree to use. You know?
oh, he was gazing all right. I thought, well, because he was giving me these cracks of a smile, you know, every now and again.
This guy seems nice. This guy doesn't seem as threatening as the barbershop guy.
Well, because his whole premise wasn't violence. You know,
right,
he wasn't he wasn't like, you know, what kind of plants they're killing over in Ukraine right now. You know, it wasn't like that. It was brutal, man. Just brutal.
You gotta adjust. Like maybe you're wearing like a weird T-shirt or something that's like putting out talk to the energy. You know,
it might be. I don't know. I was wearing shorts both times. You know, maybe it's my legs.
Thighs out, guys out talking to you. You know? Maybe that's what it is. If the thighs are out, the guys are out, and they're talking to Alex. You know?
Thighs out, guys out, saying hey.
Saying hi. Right in. This is the show 69 at gmail.com. If you got guy or girl, if you got the thighs out and the guys are out talking to you, let us know. Maybe that's what it is. You know? Maybe that's what's happening.
I don't know, but yeah.
Just a quick pause. I think this is like an all-time favorite episode of mine. Halfway through, this is good stuff. We're back.
It's just crazy, dude. I mean, I think it's telling me I need to go outside more, because I don't leave the house for 3 weeks, and I'm like, hey, so what's new? And you're like telling me this crazy story, and then I'm like, yeah, I've just been sitting around, you know.
Yeah, my God, guys out talking to Alex.
It was insane.
That's great. I had something. So this is my story that I meant to tell, not even the New York subway one. Which, golly, every time I say that, it makes it seem like I'm referencing this horrible tragedy that happened today. But I'm not.
Right.
I'm not talking about that. So this happened yesterday. I was, and I tried it as a stand-up joke at an open mic, and it like didn't really work, but I do think it's funny. I can't believe it happened, and Alex, this genuinely 100% happened. I'm not
Okay.
making this up. This is
All right.
100% real.
All
It's
right, I'm
gonna
prepared.
sound fake, but it's real. So I'm standing at a crosswalk, and there's a fire truck at the stoplight, and there's a fireman. You know, sometimes with fire trucks, you know how the firemen like hang out the side of the fire truck. You know, there's always like one guy that's like in the back on the caboose, like you know
Hanging.
what I mean?
Yeah, he's on that pole.
Yeah. Well, this guy wasn't hanging off the back, but he was in the passenger seat. But he was like, he had like his arm hanging out, and it was like wide open. You could see his whole face. You know, like he was out in the open. And so I'm standing there,
Yeah.
and I notice that he's waving at me. He's like giving me like a, he's waving, and I'm like right next to him. So I have headphones in, and I'm not really paying attention until I look up and I see him, and I go, that fireman's waving at me. Now, listen, I'm pro fireman. You know what I mean? New York's bravest. I'm down. Like,
Sure.
you know, the boys in red, right? I love it.
Of course. Yeah.
Pete Davidson's dad. I'm all in on fireman.
Sure.
So I get excited. I'm like pumped. I'm like, hey, start waving back at him. I'm waving at him. And then I like stop. And then I like looked, and I like, because I think I paused the podcast I was listening to. So I take my phone out and I press play on the podcast, and I look up, and he's still waving at me. He's like still waving at me. So now I'm like, all right, you know, scared guy brain kicks in, and I'm like, okay, either he like really likes me, like he's like into me, like he's not like sexually into me, but like he like thinks I'm a cool guy, you know,
Sure.
or you know, something is happening. But if something was happening, he wouldn't just be waving. You know what I mean?
Was he
would be like-
smiling while he was waving?
Yeah, he was like, it's like giving me one of these. For the folks listening, I'm like giving like a friendly wave.
Yeah.
So in my head, I go, if something was wrong, he wouldn't be jovially waving at me,
Sure.
you know? And so this is all happening very fast. I'm telling the story like it's happening in slow motion, but like he's at a stoplight, I'm at the crosswalk, you know, like it's not happening very slow. So I look up, he's still waving at me. So in like a split second, also I was wearing my new shoes. I got those new Nikes.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe he likes my new shoes. They're like fun new shoes. So without thinking, I don't know why, like I had like it was like very fast. It was like, okay, either you're doing something wrong, but I was like, he wouldn't be waving. So I just made the calculated decision where I'm like, maybe he didn't see me wave back. So I start like waving at him again. But this I'm like really waving at him. Like I'm giving him like the hey, like the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man, you know, like I'm giving him one of those. And it's like a beautiful day out. So like it looks like this scene looks like it's out of something from Pleasantville. I mean, it's a fireman waving at a guy with cool shoes. Like it's crazy. So I start like really waving at him. I'm giving him the business this time. I'm like, this guy's gonna see this, you know. And then he finally he like notices me. I realized he wasn't really waving at me. Like I realized he wasn't waving at me. So I'm like waving at him, and then I see him stop, and he like stops and he puts his arm down. He goes, hey asshole, move out of the way. I'm trying to wave to the kid behind you. I turned around. No! I swear to God, this is true. I swear to God, this is real. He did say, hey, asshole. I'm not making this up. It sounds like a stereotype of a New York fireman, but he did say that.
Oh my God.
And I turn around, and there's like a 6-year-old behind me that's trying to wave at the fireman. Here I am waving at him, a 30-year-old, being like, hey, boys in red, you know?
The fireman noticed my shoes.
Meanwhile, he's waving to this kid that, you know, is probably into fire trucks. And
just a normal 6-year-old is just, you know, looking at one of his heroes. Meanwhile, a 30-year-old man also looking at one of his heroes.
Being like, yeah, I love it. So then when he says that, I just immediately, I'm like, so I immediately stop and I go, oh shit, I'm sorry. And then he was like, no, I'm just, you know, I'm giving you a hard time. You know, there's a kid behind you. So I love the idea that this guy's trying to be nice. This fireman is trying to be nice to a kid, but he's in earshot of the child. The kid's like 5 feet behind me. So I'm like, but he's still willing to like yell, "Hey, asshole!" At some
Oh
guy
my
in front of
God.
a 6-year-old. So, oh man, it was great.
Oh.
When it happened, I literally wrote it down immediately. I was like, I can't believe that just happened. That is one of the most like, it's a really specific Casey moment, and it's a really specific New York moment. Like you think something nice is happening, and then the guy just goes, "Hey, asshole, move out of the way."
That is like out of a movie. That is like,
I
that was
told
like,
you, it doesn't seem real. I swear to God, it's real.
oh my God. I love the thought process of this guy being you, seeing a fireman waving and being like, and then looking down at your shoes, like, yeah, that's right. I got those new Nikes, baby. What's up?
What's up? I love you guys. Ladder 49. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like way into it. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm having an asthma attack, bro.
I should have got tipped off when he kept waving at me to realize like he wasn't waving at me, you know?
Oh, dude, that is
Also,
like,
nobody ever waves at me. So, like, if I'm being honest, it was nice to be waved at, you know? Nobody's waving at me when I'm out on the street.
Well, and you know, for someone who does not want to be noticed, it sounds like being noticed by a fireman. We're all good there. Notice me.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's cool. You gotta be honest.
It is
bro.
cool.
People have complicated thoughts about cops. Nobody hates firemen. You know what I mean? Like, who hates a fireman? They just save people. Like, come on. You know,
that's all they do, man. Yeah,
so, like,
they just got their
love it.
hoses.
Yeah, they got the big hose. They got the fun ladder. They got the fun outfits, the hats. I mean, it's great.
The pole. They got that pole they slide down.
It's all I think about. I only think about going down that pole. It's a dream of mine.
And the Dalmatian. You know, they got those dogs.
They got the fire dog. Which, by the way, is that real? Or is that just like something from like culture? I've never seen a fire Dalmatian.
I have. It was my stepdad. He was in the fire department for like 35 years. And when he retired, he was the fire chief. He was the fire chief for like 10 years out of his career or something. And then my biological father also worked at the fire department in the dispatch office, you know, answering the calls, 911. What's your emergency?
You come from a line of firemen. You're all firemen.
I'm practically Pete Davidson.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, but they had a dog. That was the whole point. They had that dog.
And it was a Dalmatian?
Yeah.
That's fun. I wonder, maybe look that up real quick. Like,
I wonder if it's because you can see them in the smoke.
Well, I was going to say, do they like smell smoke better than other dogs?
Well, smoke's not really hard to smell.
Well, maybe not for a Dalmatian, but maybe for a beagle. He might be like, "Who's cooking tacos?" Like, you don't know. You don't know how dogs smell.
Dalmatian fire. The tradition.
Yeah, go ahead. Did you pause or do we have dead air? What's happening? Are you?
Now I'm reading.
He's reading. Well, I was going to say,
I'm reading
the bomb sniffing dogs. So, like, there might be fire sniffing dogs.
Yeah. Is that fire? No, that's not fire.
He goes, "Is that fire?" No, that's just Casey just burned his Elio's pizza again. Oops.
Oops, just Elio's.
Oops, all Elio's. That's me for dinner every night. Oops, all Elio's.
That's your that's your freezer.
That's my freezer. Oops, all Elio's. Whoops. Whoops.
Okay. All right. So we got the tradition of Dalmatian. Also, the source, I'm not 100% here. The website is called livescience.com. So just take that with a grain of salt.
That sounds valid.
I mean, they got science in the name. You wouldn't be putting out false facts if you got science in the name of your site. So the tradition of Dalmatians in firehouses dates back more than a century. Nowadays, they mainly serve as mascots. We were just talking about mascots. So I think, to me, the Dalmatian is up there with the tooth fairy
Yeah, dude.
for mascots.
Put a fire hat on a fucking Dalmatian. I'm in. Move out, Easter Bunny. You know, this dog's a hero. What do? You hide eggs? This guy's a fucking hero.
Stop hiding them.
Yeah.
Played a vital role. Every time firefighters raced to a blaze, what was the role? But at first, the dogs didn't have to do anything with the firefighters. People realized that Dalmatians would run alongside horses, keeping pace. Okay. Would even defend the horses from other dogs or animals. So it sounds like they were to protect the horses during, you know, you're racing off to a fire in the carriage. You got the horses pulling you. You got that big old tank of water in the back. The Dalmatians are on the side, keeping the wild dogs off. I don't know. That's all I got.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, I guess now it's just a mascot, but.
Oh, and they'll bark to let people know that there's like danger.
Oh, yeah. But
You
I feel
know?
like all dogs.
Like, get out of here.
Don't all dogs do that?
I feel like.
Because Brody, when I had Brody in the house, whenever the realtor would come and show the apartment downstairs, Brody would bark because he would not, the smell would not be me or Ashley or Tom. He'd be like, that's somebody I don't recognize.
He's like, is that smoke or fire?
No, that's just Casey. That's just Casey. Oops, all
my
Elios. I'm still hung up on that. That's fucking hilarious. Oops, all Elios. The freezer of a single 30-year-old man. Oops, all Elios. Bro, speaking of which, I haven't had Elios in it's been a while. I was eating them a lot last summer, honestly. It's like a vacation. It's a vacation Casey food.
That's that summer Casey meal right there. I've never had one before.
Ever?
That's the East Coast thing.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Because remember we did the Edie's versus, what did you say the other ice cream was? It was like ice cream or something.
Dryers.
Yeah, get out of here with the dryers. It's Edie's.
Dude, that's insane. When I was in New York, listen, we already talked about it, but who cares? That was like episode 12. This is 52. No one even remembers that. When I was in New York, I saw the Edie's on the shelf. And I was like, there's no way that this is real. I looked into it. It's real. I thought it was some sort of like bootleg ice cream, you know, the way that you get those DVDs on the street. I thought it was like that, but it's Safeway.
That's what I thought about dryers. You told me, you're like, it's real. And I'm like, you're doing a bit. You're doing one of those pranks. You were pranking me. You were doing one of those, take a picture of me, but it's actually your friend and, you know, whatever. Surveillance prank that you do on me. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, because that was around the time that like I knew people in New York that knew you and would take a photo of you.
Yeah.
On like the subway. That was fun. Subway. And then I'd send it to you.
That was not fun. I was and then I didn't know what was going on.
And then I'd send it to you and not say anything. And then you'd be like, hello? It's just like just so
go
scared.
Radio silent. That was the worst part. Like you'd be like, you would let it linger where you wouldn't say anything. So I would just be like, I think on one of the times I was like, I'm gonna call the police if you don't tell me what's going on.
You called me and you were like, seriously, what is going on? And I convinced you. I convinced you at one point that I got access to someone's like laptop or phone on your subway, and I took a photo of you, and you were like, bro, stop.
Let that be a lesson to any of the listeners. If you ever become my friend, don't prank me. Or if you are my friend, don't prank me. There's no reason for that. Don't put those.
Nah, prank him. He loves it.
I don't love it. Don't prank me. You love it. Is your mom still there? Or did she go home?
I love a good. She's here. Yeah, she's been at my uncle and my grandma's house. So I'm not going to see her for the remainder of her trip. So we got listener Claudio coming in tomorrow. Wednesday, and then by the time this airs, I'll be face down on the couch somewhere chilling,
partying it up, thighs out, guys out, talking to you.
Yeah, maybe I wear pants. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going out, you might as well put a pair of slacks on. Well, how about this? Pants. How about this today? Oh yeah, you got to send me a picture of those big pants. You never did. I got to see the big pants.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll wear them.
Because in my head, they're diesel jeans at this point, because I haven't seen what they look like yet. So
What's that line? A glass of whiskey.
Adderall.
I can't remember. Was it?
Yeah, it's Adderall.
Yeah. And
Diesel
diesel jeans. Yeah. Adderall, a glass of whiskey, and diesel jeans.
But how about this today in New York? First day, 70 degrees out and sunny. How about that? How's that make you feel? Yeah.
Welcome to spring.
The sun
It's nice
was
to have
still
you here.
out when we were recording. It was fun when we started. It was like twilight out. Yeah,
That's
it's
the
fun.
best. That golden hour.
It's supposed to be like this the whole rest of the weekend and stuff. And then I think next week it's going to get cold again because spring is like, fuck you. I'll do whatever I want, So it's all bad.
It's all over the place. It snowed in. A coworker of mine told me that it snowed in Utah.
Who knows what's going on in Utah, bro?
And hail in like northern Arizona.
Oof, hail's no good.
Nah, I'm out on hail.
Yeah, hail's bad. It's like if it's falling from the sky, it better be water,
Well,
or snow, frozen water.
that's what hail is.
Wait, so what's snow then?
Same.
No, snow is not hail.
No, I'm saying they're both water.
Yeah,
they just form.
Like
It forms differently and it becomes ice.
Oh, it's ice. Oh, okay. So snow is snow, ice is hail, right? Is that right?
But it's all water.
Well, at the end of the day, yeah.
I
I mean, technically, we're water. When you really boil it down,
That's true.
We're 70% water, right? Aren't we?
Yeah. That was me looking in amazement.
Yeah. Everybody's water. Write in if you're water. This is the show 69@gmail.com. If you're water, write in. We want to hear from you.
Oh my God.
But I think with that, can I wrap it up? Can I do the plugs?
Plug them up.
Well, first of all, folks, if you listen to this episode, you're welcome because this was a classic.
Write in if you have an episode of people confronting you or saying crazy shit in public. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, please write in. This is the show 69@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok. This is the show podcast. I have a clip. I haven't posted it yet. I was supposed to post it this weekend, but then I had a bunch of stuff going on. I edited the clip. You gotta remind me. Send me a text to post the clip. It's me talking about the loud birds. But we'll have a new clip for this one. So there'll be a whole nother clips. Anyway, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. This is the show podcast. Like the clip, share it with a friend. Follow us on YouTube. If you listen to the podcast and don't watch it, I gotta be honest, you're missing out. When we were telling those stories, we were doing act outs. It's a whole world. You don't know what's going on.
It's a whole different vibe over here on YouTube.
Yeah. So go to the YouTube channel. This is the show podcast. Like the channel or like the video. Comment on the video if you want. Build some engagement and share it with a friend and subscribe to it. That way you get alerted. I usually goes up at like midnight on Fridays, so you get a little early. Get that early cast. And you can follow me at Casey McGowan with 2 N's. I got some shows coming up, but I don't. One of them's at a bookstore next week, and then there's one at a Deep and Bread. I don't know. Follow me there. You come see me live. We'll take a picture together. It'll be fun. And Alex, where can I follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Alaska, AALASKAA. I'm always on there talking about video games, esports, art, you name it. We're talking about it. And with that, episode 52 is in the books. Thank you so much for hanging out, spending your Friday, spending your weekend with us, getting it started. Hope it goes great for you. Relax, crack a beer, crack a soda, do whatever you'd like. Hang out. Episode 52. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Alex Webb.
Because we own.
Talk to you later. We love you.
Good.